thank you both for, taking a lot of time to answer that question and raising my anxiety really, really high about ethics now.
All my good work undone.
The second half of what I'm going to say is that you've been giving us some really fine exercises and practices throughout the afternoon. And I'm wondering if you have a really fine exercise or practice for someone like me who, hearing all of this now, I actually really feel quite anxious. And I am a meditator, so if there's a really good practice for me to be with around responsibility.
Tonglen. And
the hardest one.
Wouldn't you agree for something like that? Are you a little bit familiar with it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take a minute or two and explain it, and then we can give you some resources afterwards for those who want to pursue it. Just very, very briefly. Precisely because what we were talking about, of sort of all sentient beings ultimately are involved in this. You really can't stop the chain of therapy or healing or ethics short of all sentient beings. There's just no place to draw that line. And that's where relative compassion runs into absolute awakening. And the practice that we talked about, I gave earlier in Tibetan Buddhism, where they have the stages, and that beyond the practice of shamatha, mental concentration, and vipassana, or awareness, is this practice of Tonglen. And very briefly, for those of you who don't know the actual practice, there are several different variations, but I'll give you one, and you'll see exactly how it fits into what we're talking about. And I'll do this very quickly, so you can see it in your mind's eye, but we're not going to actually do this as an exercise right now. It would be much more effective if we took 15 or 20 minutes, but we don't want to do that at this point. But the practice is in your own mind's eye, you picture somebody that you know and love who might be suffering. And then on the in-breath, you breathe in their suffering. You can picture it as sort of dark, cold tar or some very unpleasant. You actually breathe it in through your nostrils and into your heart. And you hold it there. And then on the out-breath, you imagine that's now white light, purified, all of the love and understanding and health that you have, you breathe back into that person. And then you repeat it. You breathe in all of their pain and suffering in terms of this black, dark, suffocating mess, and then you breathe out any peace, love, understanding, bliss, awareness that you have to them. And you do that for a minute or two until you actually, and you picture them actually healing. You picture them with great gratitude, being saved by doing this. And then you might expand to your entire family. And you just imagine breathing in all the suffering of your family and breathing it back out to them, all the peace and understanding. And then imagine everybody in the town that your family's in. And you literally imagine breathing in all of their pain. Literally, all of it. And you're taking it into your heart. And not as a clever sort of gimmick. You're stuck with it. You literally are taking it into your heart. And then you're breathing out all of your peace and understanding back to them. And you can see them just, their faces light up with the liberation and the bliss of being released. And then you do it for the entire state, and the entire planet, and then the entire universe. It's extraordinary practice. And there are a couple of books out on it. You can check into it. But it's a wonderful one to set into this context of an ethical practice. Because ultimately, that's what you're doing. You're exchanging self for others. And we talked about 3 of the things that ethics does. 1, it helps translation because it helps sort of make you healthy at whatever level you're at. But 2, because it forces you to take perspectives of others, then it acts as a transformative event. And 3, it's a foundation or a container in the manifest world that will hold your realization. It helps your awakening stick. Because without a foundation, it's going to slip away from you. Satori after Satori will come and go if you don't have a box to keep it in. And that box is called ethics. So that's a practice, and it is very powerful, and it will have a profound impact on, paradoxically, your own happiness. Because you will realize that at that absolute level now, we're not talking about real people starving in Ethiopia, but at absolute level, all of that depends upon you awakening. And so You are literally the redeemer of the entire universe when you're doing that. And there is a part of you that is exactly that. Okay? Okay.
A beautiful specific practice for, for that specific kind of anxiety. There's also a general response or a general practice, and I will give away the secret, one of the great secrets of spiritual teaching, and that is there's only one answer you ever need to know in order to be a spiritual teacher, which is continue your practice. Because as long as you have an authentic, effective practice, then if you continue with it, then to a significant degree, that if that is truly an effective, authentic practice, it should be able to work with most of the stuff that comes up. Now, it's not to say there won't be help by other things, from therapy to specific practices like Tonglen, but in general, a general answer is continue your practice. And, as Ken just did, here's another specific practice that may be particularly helpful.